Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Bayath Dawadah, the elect house of David, that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations, okay? All right, so what you see on screen here is from a childhood anime of mine that I grew up with watching called Dragon Ball Z. And of course, what you see here on the screen is Vegeta in his Super Saiyan form. And this is the episode, Dragon Ball Z episode 157. And it's funny because the title of this episode is spiritual, and it's titled The Hour of Temptation. So in this episode, Vegeta is, dominating Cell in his second form, semi-perfect Cell. And Cell is just frustrated with the fact that he can't stand up to Vegeta. And he needs Android 18 in order to become his perfect form. He needs to find her and absorb her so he can become perfect and dominate Vegeta, which he eventually does if you're into Dragon Ball Z. But the lesson behind this video here is that, well, I'm gonna go ahead and play it, so here we go.
You honestly believe that you could challenge my powers if I allowed you to absorb that other android? It would be the ultimate challenge. Are you up to it?
No, Father. You can't.
I am hiding with you.
You must leave. Vegeta might let Cell go.
Huh?
You're like a kid who just got a new bicycle but doesn't have a place to ride it. Get it? Your power is like a new toy, but you don't have anywhere to test it. I know your Saiyan blood is boiling for a challenge. Allow me to absorb the android. I can promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Father. All right.
So, what you saw right there, and of course, if you have knowledge on Dragon Ball Z, especially with Vegeta being prideful as he is, that's the problem with Vegeta and why he always seems to be second fiddle to Goku. Goku is humble, Vegeta is prideful. And it's because of Vegeta's pride is why he always loses to the main villains a lot, sadly. So, that was Cell that was trying to talk Vegeta into letting him absorb the other android so he can give him a challenge. Using those smooth words that are softer than oil and smoother than butter, roughly paraphrasing. Those tempting words. So at that point right there, Cell was tempting Vegeta into letting him go to find 18. So let me get the book of First, Trunks, the one with the long purple hair. That was Vegeta's son. He saw what was going on. Cell was laying that snare for his father Vegeta. All right, so this is going to be the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. And it says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such is as common to man. But the power is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear it. So, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to always, yes, he's going to test you. But at the same time, he's going to make a way for you to escape that temptation. And Vegeta's way of escaping that temptation would have been just to finish Cell off and to listen to his son, which we'll later get into here in a second. In fact, let me get to it here. Let me see if I can get back to the...
Woo! Pretty toasty, huh?
Salakia, not this one. Oh, and also, in this episode, in fact, here, let me get past this part, Salakia.
tongues cloud your judgment.
So right here, if, like I said, this is Krillin, who's Goku's best friend. Bulma gave him a device to shut Android 18 down to keep Cell from absorbing her. So Krillin right here is going through his own battle of temptation. He let his love for 18 cloud his better judgment. You know, and what does the scripture say? Stumble not at a woman's beauty. You know, his job was to take that remote, press the button, and shut Android 18 down. But he didn't. Instead, he tried to talk her into running away. But in the later episode, she gets caught by Cell and eventually is absorbed. So let's continue.
I can't let her go. The others, they're all counting on me. I can't let them down. I can't do it. I love her.
Huh? Hey, it's you. Oh no. That's an emergency suspension controller.
I have ascended beyond the level of Super Saiyan. Now you're dreaming. Oh no! Hopefully the next time I see you, you won't be in such a pitiful state. It's embarrassing. Please!
So, like Android 16, who's with Android 18 said, Vegeta might let Cell go. And so you just heard right there that Vegeta is allowing Cell to go find 18. Alright, this is going to be the next scripture here. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9. And it says here, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. So Vegeta, being the one that be rich with power, because he has the power, because in this particular episode in Saga, yeah, he was the strongest. But like it says, fall into temptation and a snare. Cell laid that snare and Vegeta fell right into it. And into many foolish and hurtful lusts. You know, Vegeta always says that a Saiyan loves a good fight. You know, the stronger the opponent, the greater the thrill of a fight. And that always seems to be a Saiyan's downfall in Dragon Ball Z, and so on. And, you know, it says the foolish and hurtful lusts, like the lust for battle. Just the fact that they love to fight, which drown men in destruction and perdition. So yes, when Cell ultimately absorbs 18, and they continue their battle, Cell is the one that's toying with Vegeta and eventually knocks him out. Alright, so yes, rich with that abundance of power or wealth or whatever it may be. In this case, Vegeta is rich with that power. You know, he let that power go to his head. Alright. Matthew, this is the book of Matthew 26 and 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Watch and pray, you know, that ye enter not into temptation, you know. Pray that you, pray that you have, you know, that Yahweh Shem Shai has you resist whatever temptation or snare that comes off as being appealing or just irresistible, you know. The spirit indeed is willing, yes, the spirit wants to do righteousness, but the flesh is weak, and that's why we have to fight the flesh, man, because the flesh is strong when it comes to doing carnal things, carnal pleasures, lusts, and desires going off. That's why the spirit is stronger than the flesh, but at the same time, you know, we're constantly fighting against this flesh, trying to overcome it to the best of our ability, you know. And you know, Vegeta here gave into the flesh. You know, he wanted a challenge. And his son Trunks right here, he saw the snare. You know, he tried to tell his dad. You know, here we go.
No, Father! That That's your weak point!
Shut up, you fool! Mind your own business. I don't remember asking you for your opinion on the matter. As you wish.
So, there you go. Trunks Trunks tried to remind his father, Vegeta, of his weakness, which is that lust for battle. But Vegeta didn't listen, and so he let Cell do as he wished. So this is going to be 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, so yes, we walk in this flesh, but we do not war after the flesh. Okay? We do not strive to please our fleshly desires and wants and all that. Okay, we walk after the Spirit. In verse 4 it says here, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds. Okay? So, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. And that includes being carnal-minded. We are not to be carnal-minded. Okay? Now, let's see. This is going to be Luke 8 and 13. They on the rock are they which when they hear receive the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. Okay? So when you receive this word, you're filled with joy. And then being on that rock, they're not rooted. Yeah, you have this word and it gives you joy that you have the truth, but you're not rooted into this. Your faith is not strong. They say, oh, ye of little faith, or, you cannot be lukewarm. You have to be rooted in this. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. That's being double-minded. James 1 and 8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay? And it says, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation they fall away, because they're not rooted. And Vegeta is a perfect example, He had the power. He could have finished Cell right then and there, but due to Cell, and using those smooth, enticing words, he was able to convince Vegeta otherwise, to let him go. All right. This is going to be the book of James. Slovakia. James chapter 1, verse 12. And it says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Okay? Blessed is the man that endures temptation, and he has what it takes to resist that temptation. You have to show resistance. If you don't, you're going to fall into that snare, and you're going to ultimately fall. You have to have the power to resist. Let's see. And Lord willing, that this next scripture I bring out is going to be, be us. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the whole hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth." Okay? In verse 11, and it says, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown." Okay? Hold on to this truth, man. This Bible, the true knowledge, wisdom, understanding of these scriptures, this is what you should hold on to for dear life. That no man take thy crown. Don't let anybody take away your goal, what you are striving for. Don't let anybody take that from you. Not even your own family, your loved ones, your relatives, even those that are closest to you. Don't let them get in the way. Whether they disagree with you or they hate you for what you know. This truth is what matters most. So, Lord willing, that, we are those that I myself, as well as you sincere Akim wa Akwath, that we, keep the word of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai's patience, so that we will be kept from the hour of temptation. Okay? And this was Vegeta's hour of temptation here. He had the power. Cell sought an opportunity to use Vegeta's own pride against him. And what did the scriptures say? Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Vegeta was prideful, and look what his pride got him. And I don't know if y'all are into Dragon Ball Z, but if you watch the later episodes, when Cell does become perfect, you'll see how Vegeta now is starting to pay for his mistakes. In one of the Futures episodes, when Cell became perfect, and he turned the tables on Vegeta, he told Vegeta, he's like, "I would like to thank you for sparing me, so that I could become complete, regardless of how utterly foolish it was." Like Cell just said, it was utterly foolish. Utterly foolish of Vegeta to let him go like that. In all aspects of life, we're being tested from one temptation to another, regardless of what situation it is and how it's done. All right, this is the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 3, and it says, "Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves." So, we're not looking to impress anybody, nor are we looking to stir up any shit with anybody. But we're here to be humble and sincere, and to know that we are no better than anybody else. We ain't shit. In fact, nobody in this world is shit. I mean, anybody in this world ain't shit. Okay? Anybody in this world ain't nothing. Okay? They think there's something, really they're not. Let them be high-minded lest they fall, roughly paraphrasing. So, yeah, let me read it. Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. "Let nothing be done through strife or conflict or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves." Okay? You have to remember that you ain't shit, and that you have to remember that there's always someone above you or better than you. Okay? Now we're going to go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 14. And it says, "For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end." Okay? I'm going to read that again, and I'm going to let it sink in. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 14 in the Apocrypha. "For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end." Okay? So that's why we have to be spiritual minded, not carnal minded. For being carnally minded is death. All right, and now I'm going to finish this off with the book of Galatians. This is going to be the book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 5, verse 26. And it says, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another or envying one another. Okay? Let us not, seeking vainglory. This was a quote from Bruce Lee. It says that showing off is a fool's glory. Okay? Trying to impress somebody, what do you get out of that? Absolutely nothing. Provoking one another, trying to get a rise out of somebody or rubbing something in someone else's face. What do you get out of that? Nothing. Envying one another, being jealous of one another. What do you get out of that? Nothing. That's why we have to be spiritual and not carnal. Remember, we have to humble ourselves. Sure, there's going to be things that we're not going to like, but that's part of the training. That's part of becoming better in this. That's just how it is. Now I'm going to let this finish playing here.
This better be worth it, Cell.
Nice day.
So, like I said, Vegeta let Cell go. Now Trunks is trying to step in to stop him. He's trying to stop what his father had done. Ultimately he fails, but in the end, it becomes, here, I'm gonna just play it.
I came here to kill you. Yeah. You shouldn't be here. Look, if Cell finds you, then we're all doomed. Please go.
Why are you doing this? You're taking a great risk by letting me go.
I don't have the patience to deal with you right now, you young punk.
You'll need a lot more than patience to deal with me.
I can see that this is going to be a problem.
Sorry, but you're not going anywhere unless you go through me, Cell.
Darn kid, just like his father.
Well, you're not going to talk your way through this road.
Alright, so even Krillin with Android 18, he let his feelings for her cloud his better logical judgment. And she told him that he's taking a great risk by letting her go. And he did take that risk. And look what happened. Well, like I said, you gotta watch the episodes for yourself if you're a DBZ fan. But yeah, this was Dragon Ball Z episode 157, and it was titled Hour of Temptation, which is so spiritual. That's why I had to do a lesson on this episode, a short lesson. Lord willing that it was edifying. I'd like to give all the honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And to the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayat Adawada, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abadabal, Shalom, Barakatam.